everyone. Welcome back to Dream Big Today. Uh, I just totally lost my frame of thought with that. I'm going to talk about our Psalms reading today. It is Psalms 10, and it's just two verses, three verses. I can't count. Psalms 16, 17, and 18. You'd think that I can get past counting to three one of these days, or counting to two or three or whatever it is. I'm ready to move on. The Lord is king forever and ever. The godless nations will vanish from the land. Do you believe that? I always ask, do you believe that? Because when we're reading the Bible, do you believe what you read? Man, it's so important to do that. I believe, in fact, I talked a little bit about writing in my little notebook this morning. And you know what? It's not a fancy one. Cassie's got one like it, but I've got a little picture here that whoops, I can't go right. The Lord is king forever and ever. And with that alone, I my prayer for today is Lord, you reign over our troubles, our confusion, dysfunction. You reign over nations. It doesn't matter what the situation is, who the people are, he reigns over them. We don't always feel like we necessarily see it because it's not really working out how we thought it would. But just like we read in Genesis this morning with Isaac and Rebekah and Jacob and Esau, that wasn't looking like that was going to work out at all. But you know what? When we read through the whole Bible, we see in the end how everything did work out. So he reigns forever and ever. I pray that my faith will grow and grow, that he hears my prayers and because I only worship him, I'm obedient to him. And so, verse 17 says, Lord, you know the hopes of the helpless. Do we do we know the the hopes of the helpless? Do we care? Are we doing anything about that? In the Passion Translation, it says, Yahweh, you have heard the desires of the humble and seen their hopes. So he hears. El Shema, he hears. And this is assurance for us. In verse 18, he says, you will bring justice to the orphans and the oppressed. So mere people can no longer terrify them. You will bring justice to the orphans and the oppressed. Oh, that didn't say that Debbie is going to bring the justice in. Debbie is going to come and just fix things like we talked about this morning. Oh, the orphans and the oppressed will be terrified no longer. You will bring them justice. See, God is the one that does that, not us. Step back and let him have that. No earth dweller will trouble them again. He will do justice. The ungodly will not win. This psalmist has cried about oppression all through this Psalms. And whenever we read the Psalms, we see that David wrote most of them, and he experienced things that we are experiencing today. He had family issues. We have family issues. He had threats from the outside. We can have threats from the outside. He had, oh, all kinds of issues going on, relationship issues. But you know what? David always turned around and prayerfully went back to God. He repented. Have you repented today? Have you thought about how your weekend went, and maybe there was some things that you said you shouldn't have? It wasn't a bad thing, but it was not. It was like murmuring. Maybe it was complaining a little bit. Maybe it was a little judgy. Repent of all those things. Make sure that everything you start the day new with Him. You will bring justice to the orphans and to the oppressed. Oh man, and you know what? When I think about that, it's heartbreaking to see somebody that has no voice just be pushed away. Be that voice for somebody today. And then as we go on to Proverbs 3:9 through 10, honor the Lord with your wealth, with the best part of everything you produce. So when you honor him, you give to those organizations that are love God, do his work. Let's, your church, dream big today. Honor him with your wealth in giving to the places where it will help his mission continue on. Then he will fill your barns with grain, and your fat vats will overflow with good wine. Do you hear the promise in that? If you do this, he will do that. Do you believe that he will do this? We've already hit all of the scriptures over and over that talks about the belief of the people that prayed. In Matthew, go look in Matthew 9 and reread all of that. Matthew 9 talks about the people that believe, the faith in action, the the people that prayed for somebody else. It wasn't that person that was sick that was praying. It doesn't talk about them, but you know what? Probably I would guess they would probably be praying too. But continue praying for those. And just remember, start your day off knowing that he is king over all of your stuff, over all of our nation's stuff. What you see on the news, just know God's got this. There's a plan there. We don't have to worry about that because it's not our job. We're not the fixer of that. We talked about that this morning, didn't we, Cassie and Donna? So glad y'all joined me, and come back in the morning. Elizabeth will be here, and you